All right, guys. I think it's getting everything situated. So, as we're getting going, what I want to do is make sure that the sound is good. So, as you're getting this, if you can let me know that you guys can hear me, we're going to be talking about list building. So, we'll get going in just a minute as people come in. But while you're doing this, make sure you click on the notifications for my live broadcasts, and then also share this. So again, we'll get going in a couple minutes. And what's up, Marquis? Go ahead and share this on your wall. Make sure you do that. And then for those that are watching this live or watching the replay, make sure you click the notification so that you know when I'm going live. I've gone live a number of times today discussing what I've been learning and taking in and soaking up at the Techademics grand opening. And so today is going to be about list building and why it's important. On a funny note, I went live about 20 minutes ago and I had Spotify playing in the background, and apparently Facebook could recognize Beyonce and shut the video off due to copyright. So I thought that would be cool. So when you're here, make sure you can let me know that you can hear me. I want to make sure that the sound is good. So if you guys will do that, that'll be awesome. And then what's up, Cubic? Can you guys hear me? Give me some hearts, or give me some thumbs up, or give me some. I think hearts is Periscope. Just let me know that I can, you can hear my sound, because I want to make sure what I'm saying comes across. So we'll get going in just a second, but why don't we transition over now? All right, can you guys? Okay, you guys can hear me. You guys can see me. We're gonna talk about some awesome. Thanks, Tim. We're gonna talk about some awesome stuff. So you may have seen some of my previous broadcasts earlier today about what I've been taking in at Techademics and their grand opening week, and it's been really amazing. A lot of e-commerce going on, and different tactics and the upsells, et cetera, et cetera. But this is going to be getting back to the basics and how you can utilize list building to generate a passive income. Well, not as just passive, but I mean you have to take action on it. But how you can generate an income month in and month out. And so I'm going to go into those. So make sure you share this. And here we go. Thanks, Jeffrey. I appreciate that. So list building and why it's important. And I have some notes here that I'm going to touch on. First of all, the biggest thing with list building is growing the list. And to do that, you need to have opt-ins. And an opt-in is someone that is going to give you their name or their email, and email, for you to sell them something. Now, you're not necessarily selling them something on the front end. That's really important to know. I mean, you can, but as you're growing your list, what you're wanting to do is be in communication with them. And when you're selling them, that's a form of communication. And so that's really important to know. And the reason I say that is I don't think enough of us use the communication as a tool for selling, and we're not quite sure how to do that. So what you want to do is become a master in communication. And first and foremost, you can't expect, oh, Timothy, be careful you don't get busted at work, is what you want to do is you want to become a master at communication. And so that can be in talking with one another, but that also can be in sending emails, and that's a form of communication so people can get to know you, so people can learn about who you are and get to know what you have. The biggest form in growing your list and creating this to monetize is that you're gonna want to know who your audience is. You want to know who you're marketing to. Now you can grow a list and make money off of it personally by growing your own personal list. You can do it by selling a product, and so there's so many different ways that you can do it. So what you want to do is figure out what your customer avatar is. So, for example, we can just use me since I'm talking to you right now. I'm an internet marketer and I work online, and I like to help other people create freedom and to be able to live the life that they want to live online. So my list is targeted towards entrepreneurs, people getting into internet marketing, people that are looking into that space. I'm not going to go after, the lawyer who's looking to get the partner job. That's just not my market. That would not do me any good. It also wouldn't do me any good to target 96-year-old elderly that don't really know how to use the internet. So it's really knowing who your target audience is. And if that makes sense, I want you to make sure you write that down. But I also want to make sure you understand when you're growing your list, it's not just an email list. What you want to do is you want to grow multiple lists, and I'm going to get into that right now. So yes, you want to grow your email list, and I'll go into how you do that. But you're also going to want to grow your social media list, and you're also going to want to grow your retargeting list. And so social media lists could be Instagram followers, it could be number of Twitter followers, it could be creating a Facebook page and getting people that like your page, creating a Facebook group and having a community that there for the common good. When you do that, you're able to market to them just as if you would with an email list. So that's really important to realize that it's not just growing an email list, and I will go into that, but to growing your list in multiple places. So there's email, which you can email. That's pretty self-explanatory. And then you can also grow your social media list. But then finally, you're going to grow a retargeting list. And for some of you, you may have heard of retargeting. For some of you, this may be absolutely brand new. And if it is, I'll go into it a little bit. And if you want to shoot me any messages, you're more than welcome to do that. But you're going to grow a retargeting list for Facebook. You're going to grow a Google, YouTube retargeting list. And then you're going to use sort of a global, like, have you ever gone somewhere and then you see an ad on Huffington Post or some other website and whatever you're looking for is following you? So there's things like AdRoll and Perfect Audience where you can actually post your ads, creating a free account there, and then for really cheap, like $10, you can follow people around the internet on different blogs, different sites. Facebook retargeting, we all know Facebook retargeting. You go somewhere, you come back to Facebook, and what you were seeing and looking up is there. And then Google and YouTube retargeting is really cool. Let's say you have a dog store that you're marketing online, and you're selling dog collars, right? Well, let's say somebody goes and lands on your website. You've dropped a pixel, and I haven't really talked about pixels, but a pixel is really just dropping a little marker, a tagging marker. It's called a cookie on their computer. And so when you do that, you can actually follow them around. So let's say you make a tiny little 15 or 20 second video showing the dog collar, how it fits on your dog, how cool your dog looks, and then what you can do is you can run an ad in front of other dog lover videos, the funniest dog videos, etc. Because we've all seen them. It plays that 15-second video before it gets to the main video, and you have to wait 5 seconds for it to skip the ad, if it'll even let you skip the ad. So that's a retargeting list. So you're going to create all those different lists, and some of those are a little bit higher level than others. But here's the deal. If you can create a 10,000 person, and that sounds like so much, list, you can make $10,000 a month recurring. And I'm going to kind of go into more of that as we're talking about it. But there's a number of ways to do it. And so the first way in growing your email list is the funnel process. And so the funnel process is grabbing the lead and lead capture. So that's grabbing their name and email address. And then what you want to do is you want to offer them a carrot. You want to offer them something for free so that they're willing to give you their name and email address. And when you do that, you give it to them, and they're part of your target audience. And I'm going to show you in just a second exactly kind of some examples of what that is and what I use to build them. But so that's how you get an email list from your lead capture page. Now, let's say that they don't decide to put their email and name and email in, or they close the window because they get busy. Well, you've got a pixel. It's a code that you've put on your website so that when they go to it, it marks them. Then that's how you create the Facebook, the Google, the YouTube the perfect audience, those sorts of retargeting lists. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you some examples of some lead capture pages and websites. So what's going to come up on the screen right now is my website, and as you can see, it's got my name. It's got different aspects about it. And here, I'm going to scroll down. So as you'll see, it talks a little bit about who I am. And then right here, it goes into what would be the lead capture, first name and email address. And what I'm offering them is a free list building checklist by giving me their name and email. Now, I also go on a little bit further to talk a little bit about me if they want some. I also offer them to join my private marketing mastermind group. And then it goes into talking about some of the other parts that I'm involved with. Client testimonials, the Black Box Fraternity, which is one of the things that I'm involved with. So this is a website, but also a lead capture page. I'll show you another website lead capture page I have. This is one of mine, much more simple. You don't need a job, you need an income. And then it talks about seeing how to make money the same way I do. Here's another one that we have, Wealth Masterclass. And you want to attend the masterclass, so you're going to get to see a webinar on how to create a financial freedom. Now, there's all sorts of different things. Oh, and that's an exit pop. That's a way to increase your opt-ins. So let me come back to me for a second. So now you've seen what some of the opt-in pages can look like. They can be really complex, they can be really simple, but the point is you want to offer them something to entice them to give you their name and email address so that you can stay in communication with them. When they do that, what it's doing is it's dropping them into an autoresponder, and that's a program where it collects names and emails, and then you can go in and you can send emails to them. There's GetResponse, there's Aweber, there's MailChimp, there's YMLP. They're all different sorts of ones. My personal favorite is Aweber, and I love it. I think it just, for me, I like it and it works best. But everybody has their own personal choice. So that's kind of where you start to building a list. What I want to do is I want to show you what I use to build. Here, we'll go back. What I use to build my opt-in funnels, and this is called ClickFunnels. And it's taking a minute to load. But this is the website, and as you can see, I can go in and it's taking a little bit to load. But as I do, I can go in and I can edit and modify and do all sorts of different creations to whatever I want, different sections, etc. All right, that's not working very well. Let me do this and see if it'll show it to you a little bit better. We'll go to ClickFunnels main page, and you can see that it'll probably show you more of the funnels that I've built than anything else. What's up, Gus? Welcome. Gus is a new daddy, and so this is my account, and it shows you the inner workings. You can create funnels. I think it's going to be running really slowly because of the system I'm using to run the Facebook Live. But I just wanted to touch on ClickFunnels is a great lead capture page way to create and get. Sorry, this is not. Let me just get off of that and come back. There we go. So it is a great way, and that's what I use to build my opt-in, lead capture, etc. I'm a really big fan of it, and it really integrates with just about every email autoresponder that's around. So now I want to get into the making money and why list building is so important. So when you've gotten these email addresses, when you've created these social media lists, when you've created these retargeting lists, these are people that are your avatar, that are your interest. And so when you use those, what you can do is you communicate with them. And as you're communicating with them, you can offer things to sell them, whether it's your physical product, whether it's an affiliate offer. And for those of you that aren't familiar, an affiliate offer is simply an offer that somebody else has, a digital product, a physical product, where they give you a percentage of every sale that you refer someone to. So I do a lot of affiliate marketing. I have my own products that I promote as well. But I want to go in and show you something about list building, and I think that's where you're going to see the power of it. So we're going to go over here, and really, list building, what you're going to want to do is you want to build a list of 10,000. Now that sounds like a lot, and when you get started, it is. But all you have to do is start with 1, and that grows to 10, to 100, to 10,000. And so it's a slow process over time. Now, the general rule of thumb is that you'll earn $1 for every subscriber. So as you grow your list, when you get to around 10,000 subscribers, you're going to be earning anywhere from $1 to $5. And $1 is on the low end, so that'll be on gross sales. That's not necessarily on, net profit, what the item cost, if they're shipping, etc. And so the whole point of that is to realize is you can start with day 1 with 0 followers. And over time, by offering value, by providing information so that people like it and are attracted to you, you can grow this list and the multiple lists, and then you're going to want to stay in communication. I recommend emailing 5 to 7 times a week and staying in constant communication, because think about it. When you mail 10,000 emails, not everybody's going to open. Let's say out of 10,000, 10% open, right? That's 1,000. Let's say out of that 10% click, that's 100. Let's say out of that 100, only 10 buy, right? So that's 10, and let's say you make $20 per product, right? So that's 200. So over time, as you're mailing every day, these numbers are going to grow. And it's really important to realize you're not always going to email something you're selling. The rule of thumb, just like in most things, it's the 80-20 rule. You want to provide 80% value, 20% selling. And that's important, because if you're selling something every single time, all the time, then you're really not going to be, you're going to lose their audience. You want to make sure, and here's the thing, if you're not a big copywriter, first of all, you'll learn and you're going to grow. If you don't know what headlines are going to work or what titles or subjects, you test them out. You can go on Google and use Google to find all sorts of different subject lines that are good for getting people to open. But let's say you don't have something fantastic to write. 5 to 7 days a week, writing long emails can be a lot, especially if you have a job, or if you're doing this part-time, if you're doing videos as well. So my suggestion is you can create a short email. How about a funny video that you found that could relate to what you're doing? We were using the dog area. So let's say there's a funny, a compilation of funny dog videos. You can write an email saying, hey, I thought this was really funny, and so I'm sending it to you. Now, you can also post it on your Facebook page and send your Facebook page link, so that when they go to it and then they click that link, they can go to your page and they can like your page, so you're inundating them into your world. One of the other things that's important is when you're not selling, when you're providing the value, and not necessarily every time, put links in there for them to click. You want to teach them to click on the link so that when you're selling, that you're actually embedding that prior, so that they will click the link in your selling emails. Because what you want to do is you want to serve value and create possibly controversy. So you can put, let's say you wanted to, back to the dog subject, you're having, you find a blog article on whether pit bulls are dangerous animals. That's controversial. How about you put that article in? You get people to click, and then they get driven into your world. So those are some areas around list building. As you get better, you can optimize your list of 10,000 even further, but here's the reason why. Now, let's say you only have a list of 100 or 1,000, right? You're not necessarily going to be making $1 per person, and I'll show you why. Let's say out of 100, right, 20% open. That's going to equal 20 opens, right? Well, out of those 20 opens, let's say half of them, let's say 25% of them click. So 25% click. So that would be 5 clicks. Now, out of those 5, let's say 20% buy. That equals 1, or maybe none. So there it's different. When the numbers are lower, because out of 100 people, that's less people opening the emails. When you get up to 10,000 subscribers, you're going to have more people opening different emails. Not everybody's going to open them every time. So you're going to have different clicks, and the numbers skew at a different rate. One of the things that I think is really important to know is finding people that are passionate about what you're interested. Those are the people that you're going to want to connect with. So you'll find these passionate people, you'll collect their emails, you'll create a social media list, you'll also find your retargeting list, and then you're going to offer value with your selling in there. A lot of what I've learned is through Techademics, is what I've shared. In the first comment, just so you know, there is a Techademics link. It's totally free to become an ambassador. You can get all sorts of training on list building, e-commerce, internet marketing, and I highly recommend, if you're interested in this, going in and getting that. They do have paid stuff, but what I'm saying is totally 100% free. If you want to test out a way to create lead magnets, lead pages, go to the ClickFunnels link, and then if you're looking to get an autoresponder, I put those in there. Those are my favorite things that I use. That's really the biggest and most important thing. One of my mentors said today, he said, there's somebody that came up to him and said, I have a 1 million person list, help me monetize it. And he said, it would be easier for him to take someone from 0 subscribers all the way, I'm going to come back to me, all the way to 100,000 before it would be easier to monetize just some random list of 1 million emails, because there's no personal connection. You don't know who they are. You don't know what's going on with them. So what I highly recommend to you is, A, be committed to this. It's not necessarily an overnight thing. It takes time. It takes consistency. It takes effort. You're gonna possibly fall on your face. You're gonna have low opens and low clicks. You're gonna have to work on growing your email copy, all of these things. But the things you want to pay attention to are your opens, your clicks, and your sales. So in the beginning, you're going to want to get a few things set up. You're going to want to get, an email autoresponder. You're going to want to get something like ClickFunnels so that you can create these landing pages or squeeze pages to collect the emails. And then you're going to want to figure out who your target audience is and who you're going to speak to. And whatever that may be, whatever it is, whether you're someone that loves sailing in ships and want to do that, or whether you're someone who works online, or whether you're someone that has your own product that you want to sell, and then start creating these communities and start creating these lists. And as you do that, and as you continue this consistency, you're going to start growing in number. And as you do that, as you have more posts, you can create a blog around this. You can become the authority on this subject. People can look to you for assistance and help. That's something my wife and I do. She's actually becoming an authority as a mommy blogger. There's so many different avenues to start growing the list. And, as someone says to me who has really taught me a lot is, if you can show me someone that can grow a list, I can show you someone that can create an income for life. And so if you're able to create and grow a list, you'll always be able to generate an income. And every single person out there that you've seen that makes a lot of money doing this started off with one person. So it's just their time, their consistency to doing it and honing in on it. So that is essentially the importance of list growing and building. How you can go from 1,000 to 10,000 is by using the retargeting, using the social media list, growing your own email list, providing the value, and then mastering your communication. And the last thing is making sure that when you're giving them value on the front end, it's something that they'll want. This is a silly example, but if we're talking about the dog situation scenario again, and you don't want to put, give me your name and email, and I'll show you the best way to make catnip. Those are just not going to be in congruency, and you're not going to get anyone to give you the names. So those are what I would say is the best way to places to start. If you have any questions, go ahead and PM me. If you want to learn a little bit more about how I market, you can go to my website, jonathanschlossberg.com, opt in, and you can start getting the emails. And if this is something that you're serious about, join our private mastermind group. It's on our website. You can request to join. And my wife and I, love to provide as much knowledge and as much value as we can for people in our group. So with that, we're going to sign off and make sure that you take action, take massive imperfect action, and get out there and start building your list.